one person, Rutledge, and I don't know if you have any other soccer thoughts to share, but uh, one person that can really take his time sleeping in this summer at least for the next month until he joins the Toon Squad is LeBron James as we enter into our second quarter.
Oh, King James and that press conference, and to see how he got asked a question and was just done and transitioned off to talking about Space Jam. He's basically said, guys, it's the start of my summer vacation. Go see my movie. We're done here, and then walked away. Um, LeBron doesn't make the playoffs, and I will say it didn't look like a Cleveland LeBron to where it's, oh hey, here is this absolute dynamite talent. There's just no one around him. It was very much a different LeBron to lose. Um, Connor, do you think LeBron was at 100%?
No. I know I was ragged all up and down for LeBron playing well. First off, can I share a quick hot take or should I save it?
No, you can share it.
I'll share. I'll share. We're
There's
all
there's
about
a
sharing.
hotter take coming at halftime tonight.
Yes, yes. Uh, I think here's my hot take. I think that because LeBron made that statement during his press conference the way that he did, I think that that is going to be footage that's going to be used in Space Jam 2.
Oh, that could be a really good trailer.
Call me. I have, we don't have that many sources in the sports world or the movie world, but that's that's a hot take. I
That's
think
a
we might see that resurface with like Bugs Bunny in the background or the Goon Squad in the background. But LeBron even said he was like, I'm going to let my ankle rest up for a month. He was hurt. He's an old guy. For NBA standards, he's an old guy, and that's okay. And he was asked to carry so much, especially because Anthony Davis was dealing with his nagging groin injury. That in this part of LeBron's career, it's it really is. He can't carry the whole team by himself. He's done that a ton. He couldn't win a title when he was asked to carry the whole team by himself in his prime when he could like sprint up and down the court all night and do windmill dunks and like grab basketballs off the backboard. Circa this LeBron that is still a fantastic basketball player, he can't do that. So no, I mean it kind of shows LeBron is he's still really, really good. He's really into his business dealings. He's really into movies. He's kind of trying to he's trying to set himself up to be a billionaire, which is awesome. Go him, make
Mhm.
his. But in terms of the basketball stuff, there's part of you that wishes he would have at least seemed a little bit more sad about losing.
Yeah, looks like he was just ready to get some rest. But we're definitely going to give our LeBron takes a little bit later in the show. We have a bunch of viewers out here tonight, Connor. Want to give a shout out to Pilot Cruiser Raider, and Crowhey TV is back again watching the show. So thanks for coming back, second or third week in a row. For all of us
We
on our
appreciate you.
podcast, for all of us out there on our podcast, this is Friend Stream Sports live Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on Twitch. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, find our podcast. There's so many ways that you can get into our content and we can be a part of your life.
Yeah.
So let us be there for you.
We're nice. We're nice people.
We're good people. Something else is good is we're in the next round of the playoffs. And I would say from when we did our together show, the first round, which was supposed to be kind of exciting, really got huge exciting, and that kind of turned around with the Clippers. I will say I was very surprised to see the Clippers come all the way back against what looked to be a more complete Dallas team that, in my opinion, fizzled out. But now you have the Jazz and the Clippers getting ready to face off in game one tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I think the big question there is, will the inside-outside game of the Jazz make the difference, or will the wing firepower of the Clippers be the big thing? Kawhi played. It wasn't just Kawhi that played out of his mind in Game 6 and 7, but also, Paul George played better than he has in the past in the playoffs, which was huge in terms of the quote number 2 guy. Paul George was awesome, and Dallas really couldn't match that. I think that we need to, see just how are the Clippers going to try to neutralize Rudy Gobert. I think if kind of the center position, if you will, can be a wash. I don't think the Clippers have anybody, one person to match up with Rudy Gobert, but you're playing guys different minutes, getting a good rotation on Rudy Gobert, throwing him a lot of different looks to kind of neutralize him on defense. I think that could be a big key in this series because the Utah Jazz are going to be pretty well disciplined. They're going to play some defense, but if you try really hard, that's okay. Kawhi Leonard could still go all claw on you and just go bananas. So
It's really, to me, that series really depends on how full out Kawhi Leonard goes. It's not saying that he won't, but are we going to see willing the rafters to an NBA championship Kawhi Leonard in this series, or is he trying to save that as he goes down the stretch? I'm really excited to watch this Denver and Phoenix game, and I really think it's going to be all about Chris Paul has a hump to climb over. He's done well in his career, but he's only done but so well. And how far is it that this team is going to go? I like this team. I think Devin Booker is going to be a key piece in the success of Phoenix. I think the Chris Paul effect is real. I think now I will say this: if Denver had Jamal Murray, I would put this as a 4-game series and Phoenix would be done, because I think Denver was heating up at that time. And we both talked in length about how we hated to see him get hurt. But I think this Phoenix Denver series, preview of my hot take here, but I think Phoenix has got a lot of work to do. But I think this could be a big pivotal moment in a lot of people's careers in this series on that Phoenix team.
Oh yeah, no, this was awesome. And game 1 did go to the Suns. My big MVP guy, which breaking news, it might not be that breaking. Jokic is going to win the MVP, but game 1 last night or the other night, Chris Paul really needed to come on strong for the Suns at the very end. And he was the most valuable guy on the court. I've kind of held all season long that, the part of the beauty of the Suns is that Chris Paul might not be the best player on his team, because that probably belongs to Devin Booker. That take is starting to not age as well. Devin Booker is probably the most talented guy on the Suns, but when you add everything together and all the things that Chris Paul can do, it'll just be really interesting to see how this all plays out. And, let's be real. Denver's not at full strength. They don't have Jamal Murray. And there's just a ton of questions that I think Denver is still trying to ask.
It's definitely going to be an interesting series. We're going to pick all these series later in our show during our pick segment, which is always at the end. So make sure to stick around tonight. Connor, I want to give us a live update before we talk about this next series out in the East. And currently right now it is Philly 33, Atlanta 25 with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second quarter. I've given a lot of opinions on Atlanta, and I think that we're starting to see a team that is really like stepping up as the next team. Joel Embiid, of course, is back. Atlanta took the first game, and while Philly leads right now, 6 weeks ago, we probably could have said it would have been Philly in 4. But how do you feel about this Hawks team that's really starting to prove themselves?
The fact that not just that Embiid played, but had 39 points and the Hawks still won game 1, that's wild. Because it's a partially torn meniscus, I mean, you can't really just kind of give that rest. So I could understand why Doc Rivers played him. I mean, Embiid's just going to probably have to get his knee scoped, by the end of at the end of the season. I want to believe in the Hawks. I'm starting to come around on the Hawks. I think that Philly probably kind of got their cage rattled a little bit. I think Philly is still the better team with more to prove. But I think that, the Hawks are playing with house money, and that's showing. Philly, could very well still be a little tight and still not quite know what to do or where to go or how to do it. But no, game 2's tonight. So, you read the score, and it's pretty tight score. So we'll see how this game continues to play out.
Believe in the Hawks, believe in what they have going on. I don't think it's all going to be Trae Young because I think Doc Rivers and Philly is going to plan for that. But there's big opportunity for something to go on there. Speaking of big opportunities, there was a big injury in this final series that we need to talk about, which is the possibly revamped with some depth Milwaukee Bucks versus the basketball machine build of the Brooklyn Nets. But not all of Brooklyn is 100%.
No, yeah, James Harden got injured game one pretty early on. Here's the thing, though. The Nets still won pretty comfortably. This series, game three is on Thursday. The Bucks are down 0-2. And, this is kind of like the Madden rule that I know, Rutledge, you're anti-Madden rule, even though the Bucks circa NFL proved you wrong. Brooklyn trying to put a bunch of studs together. The big stud and a big shout out does go to Blake Griffin, as I believe, what is it? In game two, he had 18 points and 14 boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came to play, and he really had a big game and a big night. It's looking like the Nets don't need James Harden to win this series. Will they probably need James Harden to win subsequent series? Yeah, probably. But right now it seems, who knows? Maybe we'll get back together next week and this will not be the case at all. But, right now, the just pure talent on offense that Brooklyn has is just too much for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are, they're nice role players, but they're being asked to probably play in more important roles than they need to be playing in. So, yeah.
It's with a 39-point loss where the Nets put up 125 points on Monday night and the Bucks only put up 86. That will give you this stat that will show that while I do believe in this Milwaukee team, they really have to change the game into what you were saying with Middleton and Drew Holiday. Out of the four players that led their teams in scoring, Giannis had the lowest amount of points for a scoring leader and as a game leader in all of the NBA that night. He only put up 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kevin Durant put up 32 points and 4 rebounds. And then we have Jokic, who put up 22 points, and Chris Paul, who put up 21. In a team that is I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. The Bucks need Giannis to do well. In a team that's built for that, they can't have nights like that because this Brooklyn machine, Jay-Z is going to write rap songs about how this Brooklyn machine is going to beat the Bucks if we don't watch out. So huge on that, but loving this playoff series, having an absolute blast watching it. Connor, do you have any final playoff thoughts before we go into halftime hot takes? Because this halftime is going to be, it's a heater.
Always a heater. What's interesting is if you think about this, if you look at each of these series right now, and it'll be actually really interesting to follow the ratings of this. You got a bunch of studs in Brooklyn, although Harden is hurt. The Lakers are out, so LeBron's out. Steph Curry is out, because the Warriors are out. Embiid is hurt. Jamal Murray's out. Let's see. Chris Paul might be the biggest kind of old, Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard might be the two biggest stars left, or I guess Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Chris Paul, and Kawhi Leonard are probably the four biggest stars left in the playoffs right now. And that's really weird to not say Steph Curry or LeBron James. Mm-hmm. That's my last thought.
It's definitely a time where maybe we're seeing some newer stars in the NBA and just trying to see. I like that you have some younger stars that are really starting to get some attention.